Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. I'm doing all right myself, and let's get into the video. So, this one in particular is going to be called 2025 versus 2026 Numerology and Zodiac. Okay? So, 2025, the year we're currently in and almost going to be done with soon. You need to think of it like this as far as numerology goes. This is something that I've been learning over the past 1 to 2 years. There's many credible sources. You might have heard of GG33 or Gary, the numbers guy. He is very good and very accurate at what he does. So a lot of my information has actually been gained from him. Shout out to him. There are other people as well, and obviously it's not like he invented all of this. This is stuff that's been used for a long time. And like a famous quote goes, millionaires do not use astrology, billionaires do. But yeah, so let's get into this. 2025, the year we're in right now. Now, if you break it down to separate numbers, it's 2025. What's 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5? It's 9. Okay, so right now we're in a 9 year. Okay, and I need to break this down to you as well. We all live in 9 year cycles, not 10 year cycles. And what I mean by 10 year cycles is they'll say like it's identified basically by sorry, that was weird. We're identified by that these 10 year cycles are identified with a usage of the terminology decade or decades. Okay, so you're going to be talking, oh, life was so much easier in the 1990s, or oh, I really liked the music in the early 2000s, or 2010s was my best time, or things like that. You know what I mean? 1990, 2000, 2010. So we think this makes us think that there are 10 year cycles, right? But in numerology, a lot of this is based off of a 9 year cycle. That's because when you go to pick up a phone and call somebody, right, you have the number 0, which is a placeholder, anyways, right? But what are the other numbers that you have that you can use to dial? 1 through 9. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. All other numbers are just combinations of those numbers. So the number 13 is just 1 and 3. The number 27 is just 2 and 7. Okay, they're all made up of 1 through 9 plus 0 as well. So you could say 0 through 9 if you want to be technical. But these are the main numbers, okay? So like I said, we actually live in 9 year cycles. So when you get to a 9 year, that's the end of the last 9 year cycle. It is the end, okay? So however, all numbers are made up of 0 through 9. 0 is simply a placeholder, like I said. So we are dealing with 1 through 9. Like I said, 2025 is a 9 year. 9 symbolizes completion, ending, and death, okay, etc. But I'm going to break down these three real quickly for you so that you can understand them better, all right? Sorry. So 9, okay, we're going to be talking about completion. Completion tends to apply to the completion of the entire point of this particular 9 year cycle. Okay, so whatever's been going on the last 9 years, a lot of it's going to be wrapping up. And this is so that we can have a successful transition into the beginning of a new 9 year cycle, which is going to be next year. It's going to be a 1 year. 1 is the beginning, 9 is the end. Okay, so like I said, 1 or I is the 9th letter, the letter I. And you can also think of it as consciousness. And they would say, but consciousness starts with the letter C. I don't mean that. Think of it like this. I is the 9th letter, right? And I is also can be think of as I or I, singular I, one I, the great I am, or I, consciousness. You know what I mean? So, third eye, which equals consciousness. There will have been many awakenings and major shifts in consciousness throughout this year. My spiritual awakening was in 2023. So that's a 7 year, and 777, you know, good luck and stuff like that. So that was a little different for me. But a lot of people are actually waking up this year because it is the I. You know what I mean? So that's completion. That's some examples on the completion of this 9-year cycle. Now I'm going to be talking about the second term that I used, completion. Now the second one is ending. So think, endings can be literal and metaphorical. We are at the end of particular cycles. So you're dealing with personal endings and universal endings. So some of the things could be you coming to grips or coming to terms with things and then getting ready to move on, but also on a national or a universal or a global scale as well. This is why you saw the peace treaty that Trump helped to enact between two nations that have hated each other for thousands of years. You know what I mean? Because it's coming to an end. They're trying to make an end so that they can start these new beginnings. And like I said, these people who are waging war on each other have a lot of money, and billionaires use this type of knowledge, numerology, zodiacal occurrences, whatever you want to say. Anyways, so the third one is the most prominent, in my opinion, this year out of all the three things I'm going to use to describe the 9 cycle or the 9-year. We already went over completion and ending. The third one, unfortunately, is death. Okay? Death. The most obvious of the 3 applications of 2025 have unfortunately been death. Death on a massive universal scale. Think of it, dude. Just think of all the stuff we've seen. Now, I'm not sure if Trump's second assassination attempt was in 2025 or if it was 2024. I don't know. But we can use many other examples regardless, okay? Think. Rest in peace to a legend. But yeah, Charlie Kirk being publicly executed, that being recorded and broadcast to billions of people over time, I mean, that left a scar on me that's so, like, I can't even, it's hard to put into words, you know what I mean? My whole life, I've never seen somebody in person get killed, like go from breathing and then just know that they're not there anymore, or get killed, shot, hurt, you know what I mean? It's happened to my friends. Rest in peace to the few that have had that happen to them, but I've never seen it or witnessed it, bro. And look, I wasn't there when that happened to Charlie, but that same day I saw it on it's all over YouTube, uncensored, by the way. You see some dude bang, get hit, and it's just so like, oh my God, and the goal, I guess, of these wicked people is to eventually desensitize us to this stuff because we'll get so used to seeing it. That's not normal. It's not supposed to be a regular thing. You know what I mean? But this happens, you know, because we're in a 9-year cycle. There's a lot of violence in a 9-year. That was the first time I have actually witnessed a real killing. Gruesome, uncalled for, and right in our face. Allow me to flip the page. Wars are going on all around the world. It's not just the ones that we've heard of the past 4 or 5 years. There's other ones too that just aren't being talked about as much. You know, millions of Christians or thousands of Christians being killed all around other nations, you know what I mean? Simply for their belief. And this is prevalent, especially this year in 2025. You have Somali grape gangs, cartels, people killing others over political and religious differences. It's just so sad. Many celebrities have passed away this year as well, like a good amount of them, especially over the spring and summer, which that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just the year in general. But I'm saying, dude. So my old friend, who I haven't seen in years, unfortunately he lost his father, and I just heard about this news. Like, there's a lot of loss, pain, and death in these 9 years, but it is to pave the way for the 1 year, for the year that is going to begin in January. According to Chinese zodiacs, though, the year begins in like late March or April or something like that. I think I heard something that's where April Fools came from, because it's supposed to really go like this. The 4 cycles are supposed to mimic us, like when we have birth, like a newborn, and then you're growing up and you're thriving and you're young. And then you get older and you start to get like weaker, and then you die, and that's the 4 cycles: spring, summer, fall, winter. Spring is new life. Summer is thriving in life. Fall is getting older and weaker. Winter is death. And then this cycle continues and it keeps going over and over. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, the only cool thing about this 9 cycle is that it inevitably transitions from the 9 year of completions, endings, and death to the 1 year of new goals, new beginnings, and life, and new life. And it's going to be a beautiful thing next year. I can already tell, you know? So that takes me out of that. Thank God we're done with that. Entering 2026, right? So yet again, we're going to break down these numbers: 2, 0, 2, and 6. You add those up, it equals 10. So then you take 10, the 1 and the 0 that make up the 10. 1 plus 0 is what? 1. So next year we are going to be in a 1 life cycle, or a 1 year. 2026 will be exciting, especially for myself. And here's why. There's 3 main reasons that it's going to apply greatly to me, to many other people as well. But the second and third reason, you'll see why. So number 1, it's a 1 year, new goals, new beginnings, and new life. Like I said, 1 is also a masculine number, prompting men to go hard in a 1 year, just as a 2 is a feminine number, which would be prompting females to go hard in a 2 year. So I told my mom in 2027, you should go hard in whatever you like to do, and you'll find success. But next year is the year for men. Let's go. So number 2, 2026 is a year of the horse. And this is different from a 9-year cycle. These are 12-year cycles, because there's 12 zodiacs. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I'm zoning out. Anyways, every 12 years this occurs. I was born in 1990, the year of the metal horse. You know what I mean? So every 12th it will be the year of the horse, but it will change from 1990 was metal horse. And that has a little bit of a different connotation. I'll go into that in a separate video, okay? But 2026 will be the year of the fire horse. Okay, this is where it gets cool, because as you know, I'm a Sagittarius, right? I'm a Sagittarius, so guess what that is? A Sagittarius is a fire sign. So not only is it going to be the year of the horse, which has to do with me, but it's going to be the fire horse, which has to do with the Sagittarius as well. So this is great. This is confirmation to claim 2026 as one of my most important years. And if you believe in this stuff and you just chase it, you're going to make it happen. Even if it's not 100% accurate or it's meant to fully come into effect, you simply believing and chasing something and acting on it, it's thoughts, words, actions. That's the stuff that makes up this whole reality of ours. So on to number 3, like I was trying to tell you, the third thing. I analyze my personal year as well. So I take 11/27, like I was born 11/27/1990. So you take 11/27, but instead of 1990, you put the current year, which would be what? 2026. So when I add up 11, then the 27, then the 2026, it goes to 11 goes to 9, 27 goes to 9, and 2026 goes to 10. And then so you add up 2, 9, and 10, and you get 21. Then you reduce 21. 2 plus 1 is what? 3. So this is a personal 3-year for me. 2026 for me personally is going to be a 3-year. This is what interests me pretty much the most, because it's very unique that all 3 things are happening like this, Here's the significance of a 3-year for myself. I just so happen to be a life path number 3. Okay, because my birthday is 11/27/1990. 11 is 2, 2 and 7 is 9, and 1990 is 19. You add up 2, 9, and 19, you get 30. Then you have to reduce, like I said, 30 is 3 plus 0, which is 3. So I am a 3 life path. But uniquely, my personal year in 2026 is going to be a 3. So it's matching my life path energy. So this is when I go hard as a 3. And what is a 3? A 3 is good at communicating, at talking, at explaining things, at getting to somebody and allowing them to understand things better. So this is why I'm going to be going so hard on YouTube, because I'm supposed to be using my voice, my throat chakra. This is supposed to be empowering to me. Okay, so 3s are amazing at communication. We were meant to fully utilize our throat chakras, speaking truth and absolutes, in order to awaken many others. So a 3 life path is supposed to go hard in the paint in a personal 3-year due to the overlapping and alignment that we see at hand. Okay? With all of this in mind, it is my duty and responsibility to be consistent and work diligently in the year 2026. Even if this was, even if there were only one or two reasons to do so, that would be more than enough. However, I just listed a triple or a three-way overlap of divine and deep meaning and purpose. This overlap may never happen again in my entire lifetime. The time is now for me. It is sink or swim. 2026, that is the year that the true shift will occur for myself, alongside with the guidance of God, creator of heaven and earth. In my opinion, these numbers are all codes given to us by the Supreme Architect, by God, creator of heaven and earth, by God, the God of Abraham, in order to better assist us on our paths to greatness. And that's all I got for this. I know it's a lot of stuff to pack into one, but hey, um, I'll dive deeper on different topics and subjects and stuff, but I'm just so excited about this. It's very great. We've almost made it through, knock on wood. We're almost at the end of that 9-year cycle, and we're going to be starting new things, new beginnings, new life. It's going to be great. And so until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you all. Peace.